This is Lessee Accounting Demystified. We're going to cover Lessee Accounting in this session. I'm Karin Wagner. I'm a Director of Quality and PMO at Denovo. And Denovo is an Oracle partner. It's been a partner for 20 years. Now, as far as Lease Accounting goes, here's the highlights. As far as the FASB, IASB, and GASB, and the dates that were changed and moved back for private and public sector. Publicly traded companies had a compliance date that was in 2019, so they're already done. But those who are probably listening to this call are falling into these dates now. So Oracle released functionality to comply with these new standards. As far as licensing goes, for lessor accounting, you'll need the real estate management licensing. But for lessee accounting, it's included with your general accounting license. So you have it. So you can start using it right away. So balance sheet lessee accounting is what we're going to cover today, because this is what's included in the general accounting, and this is what most companies are going to be falling under. So minimum technical requirements. Lessee accounting is included in 9.2 Update 4. It's also available in 9.1 with these lists of ESUs. Now here's a couple helpful My Oracle Support doc IDs. This top one here, this .2 is an information center. It's very helpful. It has a lot of extra links in it. As far as the journal entry goes, this sample was for a 2-year lease, $1,000 monthly paid in advance with a 3% borrowing rate. There's an initiation of the lease that happens first, and this is off of the schedule that's run in lease accounting. Each month, it basically offsets those balances that are in your balance sheet. And this is just the first month's journal entry. Now the interest changes over the course of the lease and decreases over time. So this does change over time, but this is a flat amortized amount over the duration of the 24 months. Configuration, a lot like fixed assets, it's pretty small. So there's constants, some billing frequency information, adding an account or two, making sure those are in fixed assets, adding some AAIs for lessee, and making sure you have those pieces inside fixed assets, depreciation coding, and a new major accounting class to basically designate leases. And then the bill codes, and which is usually just one for the lease, the schedule itself, and then interactive and batch versions. These are the AIs, and there's ones that come in pristine, which have been very helpful to use to get something stood up, knowing the difference between which is a balance sheet and which is an income statement account. And in the AAIs, there's flexibility for redirecting accounts or classifying based on whether it's either major accounting class, or equipment class, or lease classification. So the way to break those out and make them a lot like GL class or GL offsets or class codes is it's tagged on the end. So this is an example of major equipment class 04. This is an example of major accounting class 30, or if it's the lease classification, finance or operating. And it goes in this order for hierarchy. So it doesn't find it in the accounting class, it looks for equipment, it doesn't find it there, it looks for classification, doesn't find it there, it just goes back to the blank or the base. And here's the objects in lessee accounting. Notice there's not a lot, which is great. Means you can start using lessee accounting right away or fairly quickly. And for those who have a large volume of leases, there are conversions, Z processes, that have grid, copy-pastable grids. So Denovo has a spreadsheet that you can use to help load those in a very efficient way. And each of the tabs across the bottom of that first sheet are all the different Z file loads. And this first one of all the upload steps you through how to get that done. There's that lease master, the fixed asset master, the lease master details that use the asset master number, and then the recurring billing. And then daily and periodic, as far as lessee accounting goes, it's even smaller than fixed assets. You have your maintaining of your leases, if there was any kind of realignment in schedules, and then terminations. And then monthly, it's running the monthly journal entries and just posting the batches. Very light work. So the summary, in summary, balance sheet lessee accounting is already included. So you already are paying for and have it available to you to use. And potential prevention of additional software licensing costs and support is prevented if you are using JD Edwards. And if you're not using fixed assets already, fixed asset module has one of the smallest footprints of configuration compared to other modules, although this one is pretty small as well. The conversion tools are ready. They're copy paste enabled. I just showed you some screenshots of Denovo's pre-built Excel spreadsheet that you can use. The day-to-day management is very light work. And there are pre-built UX1 roles, which may come in very handy for adoption and ease of seeing what leases are coming to expire or what kind of classifications they are. And it's just not as daunting as it may seem. But for first steps, make sure you're talking with your internal and external auditors to define what leases need to be included. And check with IT to make sure you're on JD Edwards' most recent version that you need. If you're not on 9.2 update 4, the latest available update now is update 5 with additional ESUs to get code current. And if you're on 9.2 update 4, it's a good idea, and you should get current on the lease accounting ESUs. There are a number of fixes that were put in place after update 4 release, and that would help to make sure you're on the version that had the least amount of bugs. But from what I can tell, there are no bugs left. So what's next? If you need extra help, Denovo can help with code current assistance, conversion instructions with templates, configuration checklists. We have a solution summary that documents the decisions. We have process design guides already spun up for this, UX1 role and UX1 page introduction and information on those. And we can do some specialized training for your business. Finally, here's our ways to stay connected with Denovo. Thank you.